What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content, and I'm here to discuss BMF season 4. Okay, the whole entire season. Now, you guys typically know that I will cover shows like BMF, Power, etc., etc., and I have reviewed and recapped previous seasons of BMF, but due to personal matters, I just did not have the bandwidth to give you guys an episodic review of BMF. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts in regards to this most recent season. Okay, now when I was like myself was like, yeah, girl. I was like, let me just go ahead and just start jotting down some little, things I want to mention about this season. And before I knew it, y'all, I had 50, 11 things, okay? So this is my 50, okay, ish. Shout out to 50 and the 50 boys, okay? My 50-ish list of things or topics or just little things I want to mention about BMF season 4, okay? And it's featuring Martin Luther Meech and Tender DT, okay? Because what is going on here, okay? Let me just check a few things really quickly. Let's see here. One moment, you guys. Because StreamYard is set tripping. One second. So I'm just trying to view my comments because it's not showing up for some reason. If somebody you don't mind, put something in the comments if you haven't done so, because I haven't gone live in a long time and my plan has changed on StreamYard since I wasn't going live as often. So let us just know or try to type something. One second. Okay. So you probably haven't comment anything yet because I think it is working. Okay. Anywho, thank you all, whoever here. Yes, thank you, DeMarcus. I appreciate you for testing that out because StreamYard has changed a little things, a few things with their layout since I've gone live last, which was probably a month ago. So thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. So as I stated previously, I have 50 some odd things I need to discuss with BMF season 4. Okay. First thing on my list. Now I just jotted random things on my phone, you guys, and I just have it up here. So I'm just going to go one by one. Okay. And these notes are not grammatically correct at all. Okay. So I put parents lost all morals. Hated it. Yes. This season was very disappointing because we already saw Lucille. Both Lucille and Charles have had moments of just disappointment, okay? In terms of their morals and their values, yada, yada, yada. They're human. They make mistakes. I get it, right? But it seems as though in a gist of a season that both parents just said F it. Now, Lucille more than Charles, okay? Charles is about to get there. If we do get season 5, or if there was a season 5, I'm pretty sure by episode 3, season 5, we would have saw Charles making it rain with his son, okay? But the mere fact that these parents went from being holy and righteous and being completely just against the drug dealing situation, not wanting to accept any money from Meech and Terry, to pretty much being okay with Meech and Terry buying their daughter a car with said drug money, buying gifts, guitars, furs, all the things, right? So what really got me was more disappointing when Charles got to Atlanta and he was giving Meech props about obtaining, things. And I feel like he was speaking more like materialistic because he pretty much told Meech like, hey, you've accomplished more than I ever did, which honestly, I don't think he meant that spiritually. I don't think he meant that morally. I don't think he meant that mentally. It was given materialistic, okay? Because we see Meech got this big old house. He got a couple houses, okay? And he has all the material things. So for Charles to really make that comment really pissed me off, and it really disappointed me. Because, yeah, Lucille, we saw where that was going, okay? I'm not really surprised. But the fact that Charles just sat there and was in awe with his son. And he was also, showing that he was proud of T for also obtaining a huge house. But a house is not a home if no one's there. Sorry, I don't know where that came from, guys. But yes, the fact that both parents lost their morals in this season pissed me off. Okay, we already know there was cheatations going on last season, but the fact that they just really got so complacent with the drug dealing situation, I wasn't feeling it. Not feeling it at all. Okay. All right. Yes, Miss Inga, thank you for coming through. Yes, hypocrites. Hey, Candy Love, thank you for coming through. We are in the trap. Act like you were raised to hit that like button. Thank you. Is that a free way to show support? Thank you, guys, because I need it. So that was number one. Okay, number two, I put Brian is trash. Only got Meech because of a club fight, not on his own detective merit. Okay, so Brian, granted, this is based on real events, and from my understanding, when and based on documentaries and things that I've seen in the past before this show ever was a thing, I was under the impression or aware that Meech, he got locked up after he got shot in the ass. And I don't know, I can't recall how long he did that stint because he eventually got out, but I don't think it was even more than a year, if that he served. But the mere fact that, Brian, you are living and breathing, get Meech all day, every day. And the only way you was able to obtain him and place him in handcuffs is because of Meech's negligence at the Platinum Palace, not because of your detective work. So for you to be proud, sir, sit down somewhere, because you ain't did nothing. Okay? You just got a little call, a little ring-a-ding-ding, and drove your happy ass to the Platinum Palace. So I'm going to need you to pipe down because you ain't did nothing. At this point, you put in probably like a decade's worth of work. And you still did not arrest this man on your own merit. It's because Meech was slipping. Get out my face, Brian. Hey, Miss Kira, thank you for coming through. Thing number 3. Now, we saw in the finale that Breeze was over there in the dope game, okay? Did Nikki bully this boy to be in the drug game? Was it like mother, like daughter? Because, we already saw he was, we didn't see, but they mentioned he was working at a plant and all the things. But Nikki, was you over there telling those boys that he needs to bring more bacon home so you can fry it? Like, let me know. Because not saying that Breeze does not have a mind of his own, but I can very much well see Nicole's old fast ass complaining in that house, talking about, my brothers, getting his panties all in a bunch and stressed out. Okay, so that's a question. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Nicole was out here bullying your boy Breeze to get in that game and to make some more bread? Because we already know that plant life is a little exhausting. Okay, let me know your thoughts on that. Next item, I wrote T needed a proper fat suit because that raggedy ass pillow from the crack house was not doing it. Now, there's been so many shows, so many movies that really illustrated how you can conduct proper makeup and artistry and wardrobe to illustrate weight gain, okay? Nutty Professor, what was that, 96? We had Mrs. Doubtfire. And those were in the 90s, 30 years ago. So y'all mean to tell me y'all went into one of T's or whoever BMF's crack houses to get a raggedy ass pill that was fucked on, that was lumpy, that needed to be thrown away, and put it under his shirt? Y'all didn't have nothing else in the budget. Nothing else was in the budget. I'm over it. Miss Cure said 50 said wasn't in the budget. Because that's the thing. Y'all put so much emphasis on T's weight all season. Me just talking about how much T is eating. We see T over there grub-a-dub-dubbing. All these minor little characters we had along the way, you could have not paid them. You didn't need to write them in the script. Just get T a proper fat suit. Hey, Moochie, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Y'all check us out at 9:05, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moochie. We'll be discussing trending topics, okay? So I let you know I ain't going to be up here all night messing with y'all. Next item on the docket. I kind of touched on Nicole, but I touched on it again. Like I said, I wrote these random behind notes, okay? So I am very disappointed in the Nicole storyline. But I don't completely blame her, okay? She has been placed on the back burner all her life. She always came behind Meech. T and Nicole always came behind Meech. And the fact of the matter is she can't escape those brothers, okay? This girl tried to get a job a couple of seasons ago at the hair salon. What did Meech do? He invaded that safe space, okay? She just wanted to make a little coin sweepage of the weave and whatnot, and he over there thinking it's a business opportunity. I'm just saying, I don't want to say Meech don't give a good goddamn about his family, but it's given I'm very much selfish and self-absorbed. I also put Breeze being a damn dope boy. I know his mama is pissed the F off. Okay. Pissed off. Next line. Yes, I am tired of full conversations during full ass combat. Okay. We are over here arguing with each other, Meech and T. While we got billets, pew, 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 all up in here. But we think this is the proper time to be over here arguing like 5-year-olds. Can we make sure we make it out of this situation safe and sound and go to the house and argue? Like, anybody got time for that? And not with just each other. These raggedy behind lines they be having with the ops. Back and forth. No soliloquies, no speeches, no monologues. Just put them motherfuckers under the ground, okay? We don't have time for no speeches. You think they're going to remember it? If you really came to do what you came to do, they about to be out of here. They're not going to be remembering those speeches in hell or heaven, wherever they're supposed to go. Like, stop all that dialogue. And that's purely a writing thing. Like, I don't know what writers was over here writing these scenes, but these goofy ass, and that's the only word I can think of, these goofy ass pieces of dialogue during these gunfights were hella annoying. It was given like 80s action film. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger he would never, okay? He would never. He was saying one cute little line of situation, and he'll pew 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 whatever he needed to do. Like hella annoying. Like I'm over it. Next thing on the docket. Charles had me in an emotional motherfucking roller coaster, okay? Like Charles was going through it. When that man's hand went limp like this. Like I really was in my feelings about Charles. I was definitely in my feelings about Charles. And I didn't know, because when it comes to adultery and all those things, I don't play around. I be in my feelings, okay? I be in my feelings. But let's be clear, in this marriage, wrong was wrong in both situations, per Lucille and Charles. But Charles technically did cheat first. So I was in my feelings, Charles. I'm not even going to hold you. But I would say his acting and maybe the writing allowed me to feel some compassion for your boy, okay? Because Charles, for the most part, is a good man, okay? I'm not going to say cheating was a mistake because you don't just slip and fall in somebody's cooch. It don't happen like that. Especially not once, twice, or three times, okay? In different locations, in different rooms. You was over there to the windows, to the wall with Mabel. And she was still Lucille's friend. That was the most, like, not the friend. Now, Lucille lost a friend and a husband. That's the only probably kind thing you're going to hear me say about Lucille in terms of being compassionate on this live. Let's be clear, okay? But yes, Charles, that whole storyline, he didn't want to be here no more. Yeah, he didn't want to be here no more. But I'm sure if we were to get a season 5, when he's over there making it rain on cinnamon buns, he'll be like, you know what? My little silly ass was really trying to be out of here and I could be over here enjoying all this ass. So, you know, brighter days, Charles, brighter days. Okay. Blaze, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. You said peace and blessings, PG, and everyone in the house. Hope everything's going smooth. I got 3 words from BMF, garbage truck juice. Whew. Yes, Moochie. Oh, skeet. Goddamn. I saw a super chat. Thank you, DeMarcus. I appreciate you. You said thank you for saying that I work for Stars because you taught the DeMarcus character. Hold on. Oh, let me rewind that, okay? What? Let me make sure I'm reading this. I'm sorry, y'all hear feedback. I got me a fan over here because I don't know. It's giving desert over here in the South. DeMarcus, you said, thank you for saying that. I work for Stars because you taught the DeMarcus character dating LaWanda into existence. Team DeMarcus. I don't know who this is speaking. Is it towards me, DeMarcus? Or are you just talking about the chat? Or just everybody? I know people have stated, and joke that you work for Stars. But if that's true, I ain't going to hold you, okay? Because if we had to choose DeMarcus to be on the show, they did a good job. Thank you, casting. Yes, Miss Kara. Charles had a stressed with a K. All right. Blaze, you said, PG, Charles Sweat is a legend. I cannot. You didn't see it coming. So next thing on the docket that I put on this random list of things I want to discuss on BMF season 4, Brian is a gnat that will not die. He is a mosquito that keep goddamn biting, and we can't catch this one. Like, and I'm not saying you got to go to the script club. I'm not allowing you to not do your job, okay? But, and I'm just going to say this. B, Mickey, and Brian both have storylines where they have misdirected anger and frustration. Like, look at the man in the mirror, okay? B, Mickey, sir. You was over there with the pew, pew, pew and being in love with a gun like you Tupac and me and my girlfriend, okay? You was doing too much, holding on to the evidence, okay? You was over there hunching with your bird chest with Kato, who was, she pretty much chose the other team. Now, she was kind of forced to it because, Lamar is cray-cray, but be Mickey, be for real. Get out of here with all this revenge shit because you don't have nobody to blame but yourself. You was jealous. You wanted to be a flinnery. Let's just keep it funky. But I started off with Brian. Okay, Brian, take some accountability. Okay, your son's demise is all on you. Okay, you wanted to work. And that's the problem. And that's what the F you doing now. Get a life. Go coach Little League again. Make yourself purposeful. Because I's tired, boss. Next thing. I mentioned B. Mickey. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I have a little heart. I ain't gonna lie. I felt a little way when he got burnt. I'm not even gonna hold you. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion, and it's his fault. Okay, let's be clear, it's his fault. But of course, B. Mickey's been around forever, and I definitely was in my feelings for about 1.5 minutes. Okay, not gonna hold you, but I must also mention the B. Mickey storyline, the little plot twist, was probably the best thing that the writers did. The most intriguing thing that the writers did this season, because of course everything is probably predictable if you're familiar with the BMF story. Yes, they're taking liberties and all these things regarding to this show, but that was something I didn't see it coming. So it was intriguing trying to figure out where that was going to go. I will give you guys, the writers, some credit on that, okay? Next thing I put is V. All her life she had to fight. This girl done been sick and shut in for all of the 5 years or however hell she was. She was sick and shut in. All these issues since birth. Okay? Daddy dead. And she over here in a goddamn hearse with crazy ass Lamar's dirty ass fingers all in her just for me. Like, sir, get your nasty ass hands off my daughter's hair. Like, that was so creepy, y'all. That was so creepy. And me just being paranoid. And don't get me wrong, because some people have a big debate about men and children when it comes to affection. Because, you know, I've seen multiple videos on social media where people question, you know, the affection between a man and his daughter, and how sometimes it could be deemed creepy and you could be deemed like just affectionate. That really has nothing to do with this, low key, because Lamar is a fucking stranger danger. But for a mother to really think that she could build a family with a man stroking the hair follicles on her daughter's head and not have a creepy thought come to her mind was sickening. While V was over there on floor 2 of the hospital, Aisha, you need to be on floor 5 in a straight jacket because you crazy, girl. What are you talking about? What are you doing? And I don't want to hear nothing about Stockholm Syndrome. I want to hear nothing. Shut it up. Jesus Christ. Next thing. Crefla A. Dollar, Lucille's new path. Now, I'm thinking she quit the church, okay? Now, like, if we are to have a season 5, or if they were even fathoming a season 5, what would be her storyline? Like, Charles ain't effing with her no more. The kid's gone. So what would y'all think her storyline would be? Like, would she just, I mean, they're painting it to where she's full on, like, I'm a dope dealer's mother, you know? She probably just living it up, shopping, getting a monthly allowance from her sons, which I know that's bad, but I ain't too mad at it, because that's what you should have been doing, okay? You could have saved your marriage and all the things if you would have just been down with the get down a long time ago, because you're over here trying to play middle field, and look at you, alone in that MFing house. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all thought, or what y'all would think her storyline would be in season 5. And, you know, please like the video, you guys. And I have this trigger warning from last live. Jesus Christ. I mean, let me just keep it up. Because I'm sorry, my last live was discussing my miscarriage last month. So I wasn't even paying attention to the bottom. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little rusty. I haven't been live in a minute. Anywho, let's move on. Oh, my next thought, Markeisha St. Patrick. I don't know what the hell she got in them pants. But I know one thing. She got a teacup and a spoon. Because the way T is over there acting plumb fool over this woman. This episode of Get Out. Get the F out, T. Okay? Because she's over there ring-a-ding-a-dinging that goddamn teacup. Because, sir. And don't get me wrong. I'm not a man. I don't know how inside of a woman feels. Okay? I know it feels good, and all those things. But does the thought process go from one head to the other? Like, is the thoughts, the sense drained from this part of your body to down there? And when when you release, is it the brain cells that's being released and sperm? Like, let us sister know. Because T, you're dumb as hell. Boom had his ass cheeks all on your sectional, bruh. And she didn't like she was trying to kick the Negro out either. And boom, you're another one. You dumb as hell. Both of y'all dumb as hell. Boom, stop trying to fake kill her. Murk her. This like the third attempt. I'm tired of these people having 3, 4, 5. No. Lights out. Okay, we murked 11 people on this show. And Markeisha seems to be the only one that I really want to be murked. And we can't murk her. I's tired. Jesus. I'm tired. Next thing I wrote down, all this singing Lamar did. Meech, you should have signed him. Maybe he would have forgiven you. I'm just saying. I would have had Charles in there writing for his ass. Okay? Have Lamar out there do a little, a little R&B thug of it all, a little R. Kelly or something. You know what I'm saying? You could have hooked the brother up with, a deal. And maybe he would have forgiven you, okay? That's giving back to the community, if you ask me. Okay? Next thing. I mentioned it actually. I said I was pretty sad. Or kind of sad when B. Mickey died, but he had to go. The revenge was pointless because them boys ain't do nothing to him. He loved that goddamn gun. So why you mad, B. Mickey? Why you mad? Next thought, Duffy held it down, okay? And Hoop was probably the only person who didn't piss me off this season. Now, I got to edit that because LaWanda was another person that I was happy to see her progression. So, Hoop and LaWanda, y'all cool in my book. Everybody else, y'all get the hands, okay? St. Louis, Old Bodie. I can't even think of the character's name right now. But, sir, you shiesty and nasty as hell, okay? You was over there peeing on that man. So now CSI and the detectives, they got to smell piss and a dead body. Excuse me, sir. Do you have no decorum? No coup? Nasty as hell. Yes, Jay Pusher. Thank you. I was waiting on you, DeMarcus. I knew you was going to come. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But Jay Pusher, you push on my goddamn buttons. I know that for sure. Next thing. I didn't mind Sweetie's performance in this show. It was damn sure better than Young Miami. To me, okay? To me, this could be an unpopular opinion. I mean, she wasn't given Oscar or anything, but I didn't mind Sweetie there. Yes, it was. It is what it is, okay, guys? It is what it is. This is given 90s, 2000 music video. We're going to have cameos all up in BMF, okay? It's not what you know, it's who you know at this point when it comes to this show. But I didn't mind her, okay? I didn't mind her. Young Miami, I do not need to see her ever again on my television, okay? Because the Meech, where's my husband? Ty, did you forget the elevate coat? Like, no! Cut. Oh, my gosh. That's sad when Meech is actually the better actor in the scene. Like, that's for your scene partner to do worse than you. Interesting. Next thought I did put, I don't even know what number we are on, guys, but we're probably on number 20. All right. So next thoughts I put, Lucille was giving Charles that Tia Kemp Ross baby mama treatment up in that house. Then she was over there sad at the end, and she really didn't want to be alone. She just wanted to be in the house where she can just yell and vent and scream at everybody. You know what I'm saying? She was unhappy and she was miserable, and she was over there just taking all her frustrations out on everybody. Okay. And I truly don't believe that she wanted to be alone. I just believe, like I said just now, that she just wanted to be able to scream on everybody and nobody to say nothing back to her ass. But now she's over there eating all those snacks and all those groceries in that fridge by herself until it expires. But I'm sure her greedy ass cousin will be over there helping her eat them groceries. Blaze, you said, I don't know, PG Sweetie will seem like she was bored, like she didn't want to be there. No, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I don't think it was a stellar performance, but she didn't irk me as much as Young Miami did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe Young Miami walked because Sweetie could run. You know, maybe she was kind of like, you know, just to ease on in, like with the bad acting of it all, you know, like just because Young Miami just threw me all the way off. So maybe I'm like, you know, she was kind of like the benchmark, but down here, not up here. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. Hey, HEA, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you and everybody else that's watching and not commenting. I appreciate y'all too. Love y'all. What's next? I said that already. Okay, so that's checked off. Lawanda upgraded. Love that for her. I also would have not have visited Marquisha's house. Okay, as soon as T would have rang a dang dang me, hey, you know, Luana, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go over there check on Marquisha. Click. That phone would have hung up so hard on Meech's ear, it would have knocked his raggedy eye straight. Okay, because sir, what? You own a whole drug organization. You got 50-11 boys out there in them corners. Snatch one or two of them up and tell them to march their raggedy asses up in that room and see what's going on with Marquisha, okay? You got a mama. You got a sister. You got somebody other than your baby mama who you cheated on with Marquisha than to ask her to check on your ex-side chick that became your main chick because you was cheating on your main chick with this side chick. How audacious of you, T, and how rude as fuck. Marquisha is a better woman to me, okay? Because this, like I said, maybe she found the Lord. Maybe she has the Lord on her side because the restraint that it would have took. She is truly healed, and I love that for her. And at that time, I really feel you could have called the hospital and gotten an update from the nurses. I clearly remember family members calling the hospital back in the day when I was a kid on another family member, like, hey, you know, I'm here to check on such and such, you know, what's the progress? How they doing? And their nurse will come on the phone and update you. Now, I don't know if it was a paperwork issue, and since T wasn't your husband, but y'all could have worked that out. If you got drug dealers outside the door in the hallway 24/7, you could have had them call T. Or T, you could have called. Jesus Christ. Party was a waste of goddamn time. Okay? I feel like we spent at least 100 minutes on Purdy this season. Why? Why and why? Now, I understand we had to filter in and ease on in their aspirations of being, you know, CEOs of a record company. I get it. But all that Purdy details, we did not need all of that. If you wanted to put it in, fine, condense it. But we had to sit through 3 near-death experiences One actually did kind of work out, but we had to sit through all of that. For why? Where there were so many other things in the seasons we could have focused on. We literally went through this last episode. The first 40 minutes, pointless. And then the last 10 minutes, y'all speeded through all these other details about the limo service, how y'all was over there hiding bricks and all these things. Like, we could have focused more on that. Yes, in earlier seasons, we discussed how we did the logistics and all those things. But I would have liked more of just seeing how y'all grew the business and how it was a well-oiled machine. You know what I'm saying? I guess, the writers wanted to focus more on the drama, which I get it. You need drama, you need action to sell the show and to make it intriguing on some level. But I would have loved to see Meech go to different cities, make these connections. We did see that a little bit, but I don't know. I couldn't do Purdy. I couldn't do that whole storyline. And the name aggravated me because all I could think about is the wood when old boy was telling old girl's brother, like, nah, I think she Purdy. Like, I don't know why. And that's all I think of. That's all I think of is the wood when I hear Purdy's name. But I feel like maybe it wasn't. Okay, let me retract this. Maybe it wasn't a waste, but we could have spent less time on it. Okay, because I do feel like there was a lot of importance to include the record label things, because I feel like that's partially part of their, or a good bit of their demise. And Meech is just ego and just wanting to be, just famous in his own, right? But I was over it. Hey, Tamika, thank you for coming through. DeMarcus, you said Purdy's character introduced Trell and Kano's character. Yeah, but we could have did that quicker. You gotta be quicker than that. Old girl who was mad at Charles because he beat up her stalking ass, possibly abusive ass ex-husband. You need therapy. You need to be in a straight jacket, just like be Mickey's baby mama. Because what? And I'm sure Charles beat him up, made her closer to the ex, and now he no longer ex, and I'm sure they back together. Crazy. I also I got tired of Meech really thinking he's Jesus. He's the Black Jesus. He's Pablo Escobar. He's all the things, okay? I'm sorry, but the Martin Luther Meech, I spare me. I was over it. Okay, and from my understanding, and that could be blurred with the timeline, but at this time, was Escobar either in prison or dead by this point? Like, is that something you really want to aspire to? Like, what are we doing here? But I guess Meech didn't care. He just wanted to be legendary. Next thought, I like Loco. I like this character and all the things. It was mad annoying when he was over there. Meech was like, he told us everything we knew. He did not. Shut it up. Meech also really, he effed with Loco more than his own brother. Like, it seems like Meech was replacing T with Loco. And don't get me wrong, T has his faults. And we've come to the conclusion, or most of us have, that he wasn't really trying to be in a life like that. Okay, he said it himself in the finale. He wanted to get out. He wanted to go legit. So we know he wasn't necessarily 10 toes down in the business long term, but we cannot not know that Terry was a good integral part of the start of the business, with the plans, with the moves. Like, they both made mistakes and they both had good ideas, but T was really the one about the business. And for me to be over here all cozied up, well, Loco got on my goddamn nerves. Like, it was given, they both had matching pajama sets on Christmas. Like, that's how Meech was acting when it came to Loco. I was over it. Next point I made, Mexico was a lot. Okay, it was given 1,000 on 10, and it was pretty much a creative writing extra credit assignment in high school. Cause really, didn't appreciate all that. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the actual concept. Like, the concept could be cool by them introducing the first 3 to 5 minutes of Mexico in each episode, but it was given too fantastical. Like, I would watch John Wick or something else if I really wanted a taste of that. Like, that's all. That's all I would have said, you know? Oh, Jesus. Hey, Queen. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. The Marcus, I wonder whatever happened to Kenny Johnson. We know Kenny Johnson is out of here. Okay. Okay, Moochie. Thank you. I was trying to, but I'll be done in like 10, 15 minutes. Let's see here. Steven, what's up? You said local offing was a turning point, hinting at a larger conspiracy and setting the stage for future conflict. Manuel, a new character, also provides clues that suggest that he had me involved in further. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was a little sad to see Loco go. I ain't gonna lie. I liked him as a character. I already mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. Boom was really laid out in that house at T-Ball. And what the hell she needed that big ass house for? Where them kids at? You could have been cute in a cute little old condo, Markeisha, because them kids was never there, okay? Like, stop playing. Like, what we doing? You could have gave your parents that house since they had the kids all the goddamn time. You could have been in that condo with T and saving some money, okay? Because I can imagine the utilities and the cost and the taxes and the upkeep for that house was very much unnecessary. Speaking of Markeisha, I was very much tired of her being just her Griselda Blanco dreams. I was over it. Like, girl, just be a dope dealer girlfriend like the rest of the hoes. Why you couldn't be happy with that? Tasha did not mind being open there in Nordstrom's and Neiman Marcus and all the things with the bags. Because when the block got hot, I don't think it was really down for it. And you really wasn't educated. And that's one line I did like what T told her. He pretty much said, like, it's different watching the game from the sidelines, but when you in it, it's a whole nother situation. I mean, that's not what he said, but that's what he implied and meant. But yeah, girl. And the mere fact that she told T that they need to keep up with Hollywood and the rest of the dope dealers, that's why they needed to continue to sell drugs. And he agreed. I don't know who dumber, him agreeing even though he don't want to do it, or her wanting that for herself even though she got kids. Everybody needs a psych evaluation. I also want to mention when it comes to Markeisha, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of wonderful seeing karma a little bit, because when old girl backstabbed her, because I'm sure Boom was over there giving old girl back shots in City Hall, I kind of wasn't mad. I was like, somebody kind of beat you at your own game, low key. But y'all all nasty. Okay, y'all all nasty as hell. Next thought. I put the best thing about the Sorcerer Awards was the Bone Thugs casting. Okay, they definitely, y'all did y'all thing. Okay, it was pretty on point with the Bone Thugs casting. Everybody else, yeah, but nothing is going to beat the Tupac Shakur of it all from season 3. Y'all will ever. So let me stop it right now. Let me stop it right now, because I will go on a 5-minute rant that I don't need to go on about that again. Yes, Kiki, thank you, DeMarcus. I appreciate it. You said Markeisha is more gangster than Tasha. I don't know about that, DeMarcus. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but my first thought is hell no. But I don't want to go through that rabbit hole right now. Next thought. Ashley Larry is nasty as okay. Cause what are we doing? Like, there's so many women out there giving away free live cooch. Okay, you got a good job. Okay, you got the ugliest in the world. You got a house. You got things. You can get some live cooch, Ashley Larry. What we doing here? I mean, don't get me wrong. People have their fetishes, but that's just plain old nasty. B Mickey, B Mama. Well, she's actually was his wife, Aisha. Yeah, like I said it before, you need a psych evaluation, and actually, we need a case study to decide it because what? Lamar? Pity? Sorrow? Tears? That's all I'm saying on that because I'm tired. I'm tired. The stare off with Duffy and Meech when Duffy went down was kind of weird. Because I don't know. I feel it was very obvious. Like the fact that he's over there being handcuffed and he's near death staring at Meech. And Meech over there looking like a little puppy dog on the back of a goddamn pickup truck. Like, Brian, did you not smell Meech's cologne? You're so obsessed with him. I'm pretty sure you know if he like cool water, whatever. Like, no one saw Meech. Shout out to actually the actor who played Duffy and Loco. I believe Loco was played by Roberto. Oh gosh, I don't want to mess it up. I had it. If I wasn't alive, I remember it. But yes, I was able to be a part of panels interviewing both actors. So they were very cool, very down to earth. Shout out to the Spot Real Talk. They invited me on a panel to discuss. To help interview the actor who played Loco. I want to say it's Roberto Sanchez, but I could be wrong. And thank you for Monique Nicole for inviting me on a panel to interview the actor who plays Duffy. And I hate that his name leaves me, but they were very cool, chill. I love them. Shout out to Charles for telling B Mickey to step the F off, okay, in the driveway. And I love the fact that Charles wasn't green. You know what I'm saying? He knew what was up. As soon as he saw B Mickey with the blicky tuck, okay, he already knew he was trying to over there finesse and get in that house, okay? So shout out to Charles being on his P's and Q's, okay? Because, some people be green and act like they don't know what the hell going on, okay? But I love that, okay? Because at the end of the day, Charles is from Detroit, or at least lived there for most of his life. I'm not sure if he was from there. I know Lucille was from Ohio, but I can't quite recall if Charles was from Detroit or not. But nonetheless, he peaked game, and I appreciated it. Let's see here. This is something I said numerous times, okay? And I'm just going to repeat it again because I wrote it on my notes. But I am highly disappointed in the rollout of this show and the turn that it has taken. Because I've stressed before that this is based on real life people and real life events. And the way this show has turned so fantastical, I really feel like it tarnishes the legend of BMF. And, it's sad because it stems and has a lot of people in common with the show Raising Kanan. And by I mean, 50 Cent. And I'm sure there's a couple other people involved that has some sort of input into the quality of programming. And if we can have a show such as Raising Kanan, who is purely a fictional story, Granted, I'm sure, and you can tell that they've done their research, okay? And it may be loosely based on people that we don't particularly know or are familiar with. But the acting, the storylines, the dialogue, it's superb. But here we have a show that is based on real people and a real story. And we have seemed to lost the plot somewhere along the way. To where I feel like it tarnishes and damages this story. Now, I also want to say there's something to say about us glorifying these types of stories, because at the end of the day, this is a story about drug dealing, and we already know drugs are bad and they destroy our community. And I'm also going to say we were not solely responsible or merely partially responsible for bringing drugs into our communities. But I would say we are at fault for facilitating and taking part of this process. But since it happened and we are familiar with it, I feel like the quality sucked for the most part in terms of telling this story. It could have been so much better. And I thank God that I'm old enough to see the Smack DVDs and the documentaries and all the things regarding this story, because I know the real on some level. And I feel bad for the 20-something-year-olds who this is their only reference to BMF, because I feel like it's doing them a disservice in the real legend of these people. And that's all I'm saying about that. I have about maybe 12 more points to get through. So thank you guys for hanging in there and watching. I don't know why. It just gives 5 heartbeats. Like, if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. Like, you could have just had documentaries. Let me move on before I get upset again. Church in Atlanta. That was wild as hell. Okay. That church, I'm sure it probably had some lemon pepper communion crackers the way it was rolling up in there. Okay. Like, forget the crackers. They probably had wings. Goddammit. Like, that church was low key popping. Okay. Like a little holy twerk. Like, it was a lot. Like, we know the church culture has changed over the years, right? But Atlanta, was y'all really doing it like that in the 90s? Let us sister know. I'm just curious. A lot of people use Jesus as a business. I get it. But goddamn, that was some funny scenes. I thought we would have got more, because it's like, what was the point? I get what they were trying to go with it, but I feel like they missed an opportunity like they typically do on the show. Next up, old boy really hopped in that car with a stranger. And I'm referring to Laz and B. Mickey. You said it yourself. You didn't know him. But yeah, nothing in you was like stranger danger. But that's why you got capped within 10 minutes of getting into that car. Because what? You didn't need to be on no team anyway. You didn't deserve to be on BMF. Like, are you serious? Like, who does that? It was giving after school special. Like, we already know. He wasn't no good to us in the first damn place. Lucille really sold $3,000 from her daughter and her grandchild. It took $2,000. 66% to those ungrateful ass fools at the church. And then once they deposit said money into said account, they still had the audacity to be questioning her about her chilling in their business. I did not see them in said meeting push that check or push that cash back to Lucille and was like, no, sister, we can't accept this. I ain't see that scene. Was it deleted? Because y'all still took the bread and used that bread to pay the light bill, to buy them communion crackers, to buy that wine, to buy that fish for that fish fry. All of that. All of that. And I don't know how it works when it comes to church, but was there not a way to deduct Lucille's tithes from her check or her payments? Or could y'all have withheld whatever she was getting paid and use that for tithes? Like, was there no other arrangement available? Who was the accountant? Who was the treasurer of the church? Because the math wasn't mathing, you guys. Like, what are we doing here? Jesus Christ. Hey, DeMarcus, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, who's worse, Lucille or Bishop Patrice Woodbine? I'm at least say Lucille, because at least Patrice Woodbine, she gave us a little pole situation. We had a little parade and everything. Like, even though she did fight her daughter and stole her money to open the church, I'm still going to give it to Lucille. I'm sorry. Stole $3,000 from an embryo. Well, she probably was a baby or a fetus, at least at that point. Like, come on, what we doing? What we doing here? And I also mentioned on my notes, no wonder they was broke as hell, because Lucille has poor money management skills, okay? Because I recall the first time in the show that she mentioned that they were behind on bills, she let several months go before communicating with Charles. Issue number one. And two, she said delinquency on bills was due to the car getting or needing repairs. All right, Lucille. Something ain't clean in that milk. Moving on. Lucille, another thing. You pretty much a lost soul, and you really didn't have no true ambitions but to be a kept woman. Let's keep it funky, girl. You really did not want to work like that. You stayed at Wendy's part-time for how many of the years, and you had so many other opportunities. Like, it was the 80s and the 90s. Yes, women, we have progressed throughout the years, and studies suggest and they show that African American women now are the highest demographic of college graduates and entrepreneurs. Yes, it is 2025. But that does not negate that Lucille probably had a few opportunities to improve her professional life. There was nurses back then. There were bookkeepers back then. I mean, there were options, baby girl. It was your fault. You chose to be part-time at Wendy's. Your choice. Where was your ambition? And I don't want to hear nothing about, Charles, he's supposed to be the provider, the husband. If that was the case, you would have just sat your behind at the house and just stayed at the house being a housewife. But you knew on some level you needed to help provide. So, like what you're typically doing, being in the middle, that tracks. Because if you knew you needed to assist financially, why don't you just go full throttle? Work full time. Go to school. I don't know if you graduated. If not, get your GED. No, you didn't graduate because actually Nicole was the first person to graduate out the family. So go to get your GED and go get you a little course in somebody community college. Because what we doing is I'm at the 1 hour mark. Too long, so let me just go through these things. Shout out to Lucille's cousin for that gift, though. He was looking out. Okay. Mental health matters. LaWanda, you could have been a little more creative and more intentional with that $3,000 gift, girl. Having that. Let me collect my thoughts. Because there was no reason why that envelope was just laying around like that. You could have been a little more creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, girl. I know it was a stack. I know it was a few stacks, but you could have found a little cute way of packaging that gift, one, and two, ensuring Nicole got it specifically and directly. Every baby shower has a little gift section. Now, yeah, you can go to the store and get a gift bag. What we doing? What we doing, LaWanda? Maybe the kids was bad that day. I don't know. But that was a little negligent, if you ask me. T, you are really horrible at gambling, sir. You might as well be at the club with your brother making it rain because I'm sure you would lose less money. Go ahead and just fund the community and, help the strippers out with some courses at the same community college that Lucille should have been. Pay some of their light bills. Buy some of their groceries. But now you over here just being bad as hell at craps. Like, did you ever win? Did you ever win, Terry? Like, I'm tired. And then furthermore, you had your pregnant baby sister bring you cash, flew her from Detroit to Atlanta with 2 bags of cash. Wasn't this girl going through enough? Was locked up months before because y'all gave her a stolen vehicle. I'm not gonna say y'all because of course he would definitely make sure I knew that it was T's fault. But what are we doing here, sir? That should have been a sign to you to stop. And is it me? I strongly feel when T and Markeisha was in Atlanta and she was kind of getting cozy to old boy's wife, I would have felt if Markeisha needed to get down and have a threesome with them people for a little bread, she would have did it. Mm-hmm. She would have definitely did it. Okay? Because we already know. Meech, you became the dumbest, biggest drug dealer ever. Because the mere fact that your artist was high as Giraffe's punani on stage and you could not decipher and figure out what was going on with her, even though you knew she was an addict. What's wrong with her? Why Purdy acting like that? She high, Meech. What the? And then less than one episode later, your right-hand man come to you telling you he's sorry. Looking more nervous than a stripper in church. Talking about stash house. Talking like he got Tourette's or some shit. And you can't figure out what the hell going on. Mind you, he was missing right before then, but you weren't even checking for him. Because you too busy popping pills and watching people popping on the handstand. I mean, like, Meech, the way they wrote Meech this season just make you really question how he even got to the level he was at. I don't know. I mean, it's given he got, really comfortable and was just chilling. Like, oh, I got this well-oiled machine. I don't really need to do nothing else. But it seems like all the street smarts that he obtained in those 30 or 20 some odd years just left out the window. Well, was you high all these times? Because I don't understand. I don't understand. Jesus Christ. I'm tired, y'all. I don't mean to be just ranting, but these are the things that I wrote down. To add to that, B Mickey was over there at that club and y'all did not, you didn't see him. He wasn't really hiding like that. Like what we doing here? Now, I would say the writers did do what they needed to do with highlighting Atlanta as a city, okay? Y'all went over there and gave the people church, script clubs, and colleges, okay? So, Atlanta, of course, there's more to offer. I love Atlanta. I mean, we could have had some more restaurant scenes because the food is very much yummy. But I wonder if the people of Atlanta are offended. They're probably not. They probably don't care. But yes, they did what they needed to do with showing what was going on in Atlanta in the 90s. I don't know. Would have been, they did show Freaknik. Was it last season or season 2? They did highlight that. So I'm not mad at that. But let me just piggyback off of what I just said, because they made such an emphasis on, and I mentioned this before on Moochie's Live, they really stressed the whole 96 Olympics situation, right? And not saying they needed to have like a full-on episode about the Olympics, but they just pretty much skipped that. Like, we, of course, introduced the Red Dogs, so that was a big part of it. And all these things about, and they still discussing, and the Red Dogs are still active in the 2000s. I'm not sure when they dismantled or if they dismantled. I'm pretty sure they did at some point. But it's like we couldn't get nothing about the Olympics, like just even addressing it, like even having them in the house discussing, their little deals, but somebody having one line, well, the Olympics is next week, or, there's traffic out there because the Olympics is going on. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there was a small missed opportunity. I'm probably being mad, nitpicky, but I just would have liked something to pretty much address the Olympics and that it happened, and that, okay, we can move on from that and do a time jump. But I feel like it was quite weird that they kept mentioning the Olympics for a whole season and a half, and then they don't address it when it occurs. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that was a missing point. I'm just saying, I didn't need a whole situation, a whole episode, but just at least one line from one person just addressing the Olympics. That's all. I mean, y'all could have shown somebody lighting a goddamn or carrying a torch or something. Let's move on. It's only like 2 more points. We discussed this earlier about he and the horrible job they did with illustrating his weight gain, but the wicketry of it all, like, this show is called BMF, and the main characters are Meech and Terry Flannery. Why are the main characters over here with these horrible ass wigs? Like, was y'all not advocating for yourselves? Like, Meech, this is your father's story, for God's sake. Now, I know you over there allegedly be popping pills and all and getting high and whatnot, but at no point did nobody look at you was like, ooh, your wig pushed back. Your line up a little crooked. Like, what are we doing here? Like, the wicketry was horrible. Like, where do we get? And lastly, the bickering of it all. Y'all really acted like y'all was 5-year-olds, and it was, I was over it, okay? And I think what really irked me, they argued seemingly the most in the midst of gunfights in a whole nother ass country in the desert. Why, Sway? And let me just add this, Terry, I'm not mad you got your ass on that goddamn helicopter. Because Meech, protect the plug. yes, if there's a situation where you are for sure you can get out safely, your brother can get out safely, and then you have time, ample time, and a reassurance that you can get the plug out safely and all three of y'all can escape danger, then maybe. But you not only asked your brother to put himself in danger, endanger yourself to save the plug, and for only the plug to get murked anyway. And another thing that just got to my head, the scene where Meech came home and Terry updated Meech on what's going on with the family. He explained that dad is thinking about offing himself and Nicole is pregnant. And Terry kicks Meech out of the very house he paid off. And Meech just went ahead and left. So you drove umpteen hours home. Because I'm sure y'all wasn't flying like that. If y'all was, okay, I could be wrong. But you just got all these traumatic updates about your family, and you allowed your little brother, big brother, you left the house with no force, willingly. Oh. Okay. Well, you guys, I'm going to read a few of your comments before I leave, but those were my 50-something things about BMF Season 4 in honor of the 50 Boys in 50 Cent. Okay? DeMarcus, you said you can't forget that Terry used LaWanda's pregnancy to get out of the situation with the law enforcement Season 2. Are you referring to the stop they had when they was going to Ohio? And he put the work in the Infamill, whatever. Well, she technically wasn't pregnant, so I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Maybe I'm thinking of another scene. Steven, you said Big Meech, relentless ambition, and Terry grappling with the morality of their actions led to significant consequences. Yeah, and you know what? Let me just also let you guys know. Well, you already know I did not have the bandwidth mentally or physically to cover this show every week, right? I probably would have pushed myself if it was better quality, not gonna lie. But at some point, I don't know if it was episode 2 or so, but and it had just maybe me just being in a sensitive time in my life, but when it was doing the whole Mexico thing and just the religion thing and the voodoo and all that, I don't know. It was just bothering and disturbing my spirit on some level. I was like, ugh, I think I'm going to continue this. I don't know if I want to continue to watch because I don't know. Just something I just wasn't looking forward to in regards to those scenes. Like, don't get me wrong. These are pew pew shows. These are drug shows. Like, there's no morality for the most part on these shows, right? But I don't know, when it comes to religion and faith and God and all that, the way they were kind of writing the show, it was kind of bothering me a little bit, honestly. And I don't know, I'm really contemplating even just watching the rest of the season. I pushed through and they did kind of lay off a little bit when it came to those subject matters. But it was kind of annoying. And this may have been T's real perspective, but I don't know. It was just frustrating that T was always kind of talking about, his faith and God, knowing very goddamn well they're doing very ungodly things. It's like, are we picking and choosing here? Like, what's going on? Very, very off-putting, not gonna lie. But hey, it is what it is. Last comment I'm gonna read. DeMarcus, you said the Scarface reference when Meech and Terry met Manuel and his wife Bernice was priceless. Manuel and Bernice reminds Meech and Terry of Tony Montana and Elvira. Yeah, that was interesting. But you guys, I am going to go. I believe I am a little late. I will be joining Meech. I'm Laura said Meech. Moochie and the gang for trending topics in a few moments. So catch me on one of their channels because I'm getting copyright when I share it on my channel because of Music Matters. So head on over to Moochie's channel and we'll be discussing trending topics, okay? So please like the video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I do apologize for not being consistent on my channel when it comes to content, but I'm just doing a lot of things personal and just doing a lot of self-work. And unfortunately, YouTube has to be on a back burner until further notice. So I'm going to do as much as I can to be present for you guys, whether it be my channel or someone else's. But I do appreciate you guys holding on and being supportive of your girl. Thank you so much, Steven. I appreciate you. DeMarcus, again, thank you for those super chats. And I'll see you guys hopefully soon, okay? Talk to you later. Toodles.